This video is designed to show a user how to interact with SISfin Pulse, how to use the pages, how to navigate, how to filter, and how to use help and assistance. So that said, let's get into this and look at it quickly. We're going to go through it on a pretty fast pace. First, there's multiple ways to navigate in SISfin Pulse. One way is the left menu, and that's the primary way of design. There's also a top menu that may alternately be used, but generally speaking, the left menu is the way that most users are going to use it. So, I'm on is the home page, and from the home page I can click to a sub-menu. Several of them are shown here. Your site may have a little different setting to the side. This left menu is completely configurable. We'll click on Financials and go to the Financial main menu. So on that menu, I can go to screens, I can do things, I can go to sweeping results. Maybe that's why I came here to look at something. And then when I'm done, I can go back to the Financial menu. When I'm done with the Financial menu, I can go to the home maybe back to the home page. So the left menu is designed to let you return to where you want to return to. There are some exceptions to that. If I were to go to the Financial menu, there is a sub-module on several pages that work the same way, in this case Activity Management. So I can click on Activity Management and see a sub-menu here. I may here click on Activity Financial Statement, and once I'm looking at this, notice that I have the ability to either go back to the Financial, always, this is always to the side, or I can simply return to the sub-menu for Activity. So each of these sub-menus allows you to return to the sub-menu by clicking on the return that's going to be on every screen. Just look for it. Also notice I'm using the back key. I can use the back key as often as I want to return to anywhere that I want to go. So use the back key or the forward key to move around as is appropriate. Let's talk about filtering for a second. Generally, filtering has two different kinds of usage. Let me go to the purchasing module to start this. And one type of usage would be going to selected vendors by condition, or selected invoices by conditions. And once I go here, you're going to see that it has a preset viewing, invoices without POs. What I could do here when I come is use the filtering. Notice I can do equals, where I type in what I want. I can do a like to look for certain things, but typically I'm going to use yes list for everything. And here maybe I can look at invoices where the PO date exceeds the invoice date. And when I see that, I can see that list. Or I could go back to the list again and look at where the POs with invoices without POs, and click filter and see that. Now also while I'm here, I might want to look at only those that are in a certain location, such let's say as the high school for this particular school district. By doing that, you're going to see I got no output. That's a correct statement. There are no invoices at Ford High School with no POs, so a blank screen is a valid answer. The answer is there are none. If I were to change that and look at the district office, maybe I would see some, and I do. I see several of them here. So the point is, when you do this up here, you're filtering the screen to show you not everything that's available, but everything that's available in the data set behind this, based on these two conditions. So moving back to none would give me everything. So generally speaking, that's how filter is used on a screen with preset data set for your viewing. I want to go back to the Financials menu. And on the Financials menu, I'm going to go to the Comparative Expense Statement. And this screen is different. It's not like the other one where there were presets of data. This screen is really more designed to do research on. So you can tell that by the number of filter selections that you see here. It becomes almost obvious. So on this screen, when it first comes up, notice there are no filters in place, so it's showing me every bit of data that's available on the screen when I first come to it. Now, I could look at this more closely. Let's say that I only wanted to see data. In this case, there's a different kind of box. Notice equals, greater than, between, and so on. But on this screen, I could say I really only want to look at what's in Fund 1. So by filtering here on Fund 1, I could change the display to only display the lines that had Fund 1 somewhere in the account code. Or if I wanted to only look at operations funds, maybe I could look at everything between Funds 1 and 2. And in that case, they'll both be included. And if there were anything between them, that would be included. So now I get a larger display of that every account code in these two funds. I could discriminate further by going to the source of funds and saying I only want to see accounts based on local funding. So if I select that, the system will come back and show me all the accounts in Fund 1 and 2 with local funding. And I could go further, different functions, different combinations. The system simply allows you to filter the data that's there based on the conditions you write here. So you will only see items that fall inside of what you've asked to see. Once you do this, at the bottom of the screen, you can export this to a PDF or to Excel or print it. In doing so, it will only show the data in Excel or the PDF that you have filtered. So you will only get the output of the data selected. Let's look at drilling on this screen for a minute. Notice that several of the items on this screen have highlighted blue areas, and when I hover over them, whatever your computer is set to use will show up showing you that that's a linked field. So on this top line, if I click the link button, it would link me to the monthly transaction flow for that account. So I can see that spread across the screen. I can return by simply hitting the return key to take me right back to exactly where I was before I did that. I could then click and go to a different place, like on the account code. This is going to show me every transaction that was transacted against this account for the last 3 years. And I could again return through the click button. So therefore, I can move around on the screen through the drilling focus, which is really to give you more and more detail for the data that you're looking at. Or I could return to the financial menu, or I could return to the main menu. Let's go back to the screen that we were just on and talk about documentation. I'm going to go back to the comparative expense statement. And the first thing I'm going to know is most of the documentation that's available to you, if I were to go to the bottom of the screen, is available by clicking on the help button. Note that there's a great deal of help on some screens when they need a lot of help, and there's a few lines of help on some screens when the screen is more obvious for usage. But you'll see help on every single table in the system. So when you come to a screen and you're looking for information, that's the first place to go. Secondly, for every screen, there is an audio help. So if I want audio help on this table, the screen has 3, which is unusual. Most will have 1. But if I click on audio help,
this page shows the current financial position.
Audio, 1 minute and 38-second audio to tell me what the screen is used for and how to use it and how I should see it. So when you come to a screen, you're not quite clear on its purpose. Just analyze the filters, look at the help, and look at the audio. Also, if I come down to the lower section here, you'll see that there's an area for SISfin support. This is if you need support, you can call this number or email this email address. You can also look at operations help. So here, these are more generalized help, more or less like the video that you're watching right now, where I can click on these and watch certain videos and look at things in more detailed information, as well as drill to areas at the DESI or other areas on the web that were used to develop the system. So with that, that's the completion of this particular recording.